Seoul, March 2016. A computer is playing the most beautiful game humans ever invented against the best player alive. And on move 37, it does something so strange the entire room goes quiet. The commentators think it's a glitch. The world champion stands up and walks out of the room. For 2,500 years, we were sure of one thing. A game this deep needs something a machine could never have. We were wrong. This is the day a computer didn't just beat us. It surprised us. First, the game. Go is ancient, older than almost anything we still play. The rules fit on a napkin. 2 players, black stones and white stones, take turns placing them on a grid. Surround more space than your opponent, and you win. That's it. A 5-year-old can learn the rules in a minute. But here's the trick. Being able to play Go and being able to play it well are 2 completely different universes. Because that little grid is 19 lines by 19 lines. And the number of ways a Go game can unfold is about 10, followed by 170 zeros. Let that sink in. Chess has around 10 to the 120 positions. Already absurd. But the number of atoms in the entire observable universe is only 10 to the 80th. So Go has more possible games than there are atoms in the universe. By a margin so vast it breaks your brain. You cannot memorize Go. There isn't enough universe to write it down. Now, computers had already conquered chess. Back in 1997, IBM's Deep Blue beat world champion Garry Kasparov by doing one thing very, very fast, checking 200 million board positions every single second, looking further ahead than any human could. Brute force. Just think harder, but point that same machine at Go and it drowns. 200 million a second is nothing against 10 to the 170. Therefore, the old trick, look at every move, was hopeless. To play Go, you need the one thing brute force can't fake. Ask a Go master why they played a move, and they'll often shrug and say, it just felt right. They don't calculate a billion futures. They look at the board and a handful of good moves simply glow. That's intuition. Pattern recognition burned in over a lifetime. And for decades, that was the wall. How do you write code for a feeling? You can't type out play the beautiful move. So everyone agreed. Real Go was still 10, maybe 20 years away from any machine. But a small team in London had a different idea. The team was DeepMind, led by Demis Hassabis. And their bet was this: don't try to program good Go. You can't. Instead, grow the intuition the way a person does. Build a brain that learns to feel the board from millions of examples. They called it AlphaGo. And under the hood, it had 2 of these learned instincts working together with a clever way of imagining the future. Let's meet all 3, because this exact recipe is the ancestor of half the AI you use today. Instinct number 1, the policy network. Its only job is to look at a board and whisper, out of the hundreds of legal moves, these 3 or 4 are worth thinking about. It's the glow. It's a strong player's eye that instantly ignores the silly moves and zooms in on the promising ones. So instead of drowning in millions of options, AlphaGo starts every turn with a tiny shortlist. The policy network doesn't tell you the answer. It tells you where to look. Instinct number 2, the value network. Show it any board, mid-game, and it estimates one number, who's winning, and by how much. Black 60%, white 40%. This is the second thing humans do without thinking. Glance at a position and sense, I'm ahead here, or uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Why does that matter so much? Because without it, to know if a move is good, you'd have to play the game all the way to the end, millions of times. The value network lets AlphaGo peek at a position and just know, without finishing. It's a built-in sense of hope and dread. Now put them together. AlphaGo imagines the future. If I play here, they play there, then I play here. That's a tree of possibilities branching out. On its own, that tree explodes into nonsense. But the policy network prunes it. Only explore the moves that glow. And the value network caps it. Stop imagining once you can tell who's winning. This is called Monte Carlo tree search. And the magic is the teamwork. Instinct narrows the search, imagination plays it out, and AlphaGo picks the move that leads to the most wins. Now, how did those instincts get good? 2 stages. Stage 1, imitation. They fed AlphaGo about 30 million moves from real games played by strong human players online. 30 million. For each one, it tried to guess. What would the human play here? Over and over until it could predict an expert's move more than half the time. Like a kid who watches thousands of games and slowly soaks up what good play looks like. But here's the ceiling. If all you do is copy humans, the best you can ever be is as good as a human. AlphaGo needed to go further. So it stopped copying and started playing itself. Stage 2, self-play. AlphaGo played game after game after game against itself, millions of them. Win a game, nudge the instincts toward whatever you just did. Lose, nudge them away. No human telling it the right answer, just the score at the end. And if that sounds familiar, it should. Remember episode 7. DeepSeek R1. The AI that taught itself to think with nothing but a reward for the right answer. This is where that idea was born. AlphaGo is the original kid who got unbeatable by playing alone in their room all summer and came out better than any teacher. So, was the intuition real? In October 2015, in secret, AlphaGo invited the reigning European champion, Fan Hui, for a 5-game match. The result, 5 games to 0, a clean sweep. They kept it quiet so they could publish the work properly in the journal Nature. And when they did, the Go world was stunned. Because experts had been saying a machine beating a top human was still a decade away. It had just happened, but a European champion was one thing. Next, AlphaGo aimed at a legend. March 2016, Seoul. The opponent, Lee Sedol, 18-time world champion, one of the greatest players in the history of the game. 5 matches, $1 million on the line, and more than 200 million people watching live around the world. Lee Sedol was relaxed. He predicted he'd win 4-1, maybe 5-0. He was that confident. And honestly, so was most of humanity. Therefore, what happened next wasn't supposed to be possible. Game 2, move 37. AlphaGo places a stone way up on the 5th line. A spot human players are basically trained to avoid that early. On the broadcast, the commentators freeze. One says, "That's a very strange move." Another assumes it's a mistake. Lee Sedol stares at the board, gets up, and leaves the room to collect himself. Here's the wild part. AlphaGo's own model knew exactly how alien it was. It estimated a human player would choose that move about one time in 10,000. 1 in 10,000. And it played it anyway, because in its imagined futures, it won. Stop and feel how strange this is. AlphaGo learned by copying humans, but move 37 was a move almost no human would ever make. Just for Pip. It hadn't just absorbed our knowledge, it had gone past it and found something beautiful, sitting in a corner of the game we'd somehow missed for 25 centuries. Remember episode 4? Emergent abilities, skills that just switch on at scale. This was creativity, switching on. Not programmed, not copied, discovered. Move 37 won AlphaGo the game, and it told the world. This machine isn't echoing us, it's thinking. But the most human moment was still coming. Game 4. AlphaGo is winning 3-0, and Lee Sedol is cornered. Then, on move 78, he plays a wedge so perfect, so unlikely, that another champion later called it the hand of God. And here's the poetry. AlphaGo rated Lee's move the same way it rated its own, about 1 in 10,000, a move almost no one would find. AlphaGo had no answer. It wobbled, it broke, and Lee Sedol won game 4. One man, one move, against the machine. The whole world cheered. The match ended 4-1. AlphaGo won the series, decisively. But Lee Sedol won that one shining game, and it mattered because it reminded everyone that the door swings both ways. The machine surprised us, and we could still surprise it right back. Most people remember March 2016 as the moment the machines pulled ahead at Go. But the real story wasn't the score. It was how AlphaGo won. And the team wasn't finished. 1 year later, DeepMind asked a wilder question. What if we delete the human games entirely? Meet AlphaGo 0. It started knowing only the rules. Nothing else. No 30 million human moves. No examples. Just a blank brain, the board, and the score. It played itself, from random flailing, millions of times. And in about 3 days, it taught itself everything humans had figured out over 2,500 years, plus things we never had. Then it played the version that beat Lee Sedol and won 100 games to 0, from scratch. From nothing but did I win. And it wasn't just Go. Strip out the Go-specific parts and you get Alpha 0. The same self-teaching engine, pointed at chess and shogi. Same recipe. Know the rules, play yourself, keep what wins. Within hours, it taught itself chess from 0 and crushed the best chess programs on Earth, including the descendants of Deep Blue. The lesson landed hard. This wasn't a Go trick. It was a general way to grow superhuman intuition for almost any problem with clear rules and a clear goal. Which raises the obvious question: what else has clear rules and a clear goal? Demis Hassabis and his team asked exactly that. The same lab that built an engine to feel its way through a board game pointed it at a far older puzzle, the shape of life itself. That became AlphaFold from episode 8, the AI that cracked the origami of proteins and won a Nobel Prize. The intuition engine forged on a Go board grew up to help decode biology. Go was never really about Go. It was a proving ground. So zoom all the way out. 8 episodes now, one long climb. AlexNet, the day computers learned to see. Attention is all you need. The engine that let them read and write. Chain of thought, teaching them to show their work. Emergent abilities, new skills switching on at scale. DeepSeek R1, an AI teaching itself to think. AlphaFold, cracking the origami of life. Stable diffusion, dreaming pictures out of static. And now AlphaGo, the day a machine out-imagined a champion. 8 landmarks. One quiet question running underneath all of them. Every AI we've met in this series learned from US. Our photos, our words, our example games. They were brilliant students of humanity. But on Move 37, in a quiet room in Seoul, AlphaGo became the first to look at something humans had been playing for 2,500 years and find a kind of beauty we never had. That's the moment the empty chair is really about. The day a machine didn't just learn the game and didn't just beat us at it. The day it showed us a move we'd been missing all along.